through. 95 HP now, Shaq.
In the zone now, it's the last circle, 9th one closing in. 40 seconds, Osmo finally goes down to Magin. Magin moving up, Jurg on the high ground, Pepper down below. It's a solo game at the moment, 1v1v1v1. Jurg making sure his lair is secure. Pepper up on the mid-ground lair. Magin getting pressure now. Pepper on low HP. Magin taking storm damage to get his heals up on a trap. It's his though. He moves in. Pepper going down. Risk versus Magin on the low ground. Jurg looking for pressure from height. Gets those combat shots onto Magin, who gets dropped into the zone. Gets a quick pickup from Risk. Taking that risk, getting the reward. Jurg now on a lot of HP and shield, not taking ticks yet. Imagine with the surprise factor low on Mats, can he get it done? 3 left for him. Or Elims, he tries for the 50-50, but Jurg comes in. S2V wins at the end of the day. Very dope stuff there.
Well done there from Harambe and Jorge Q, closing out there and matching the score of Majin and Provoke, putting both those duos at 34 points after the match. Again, we saw the leaderboard. It was 41 to 37. These are all duos who are up towards the top, but the action doesn't stop. Hopping into the third game here, we are also into the final hour in Europe, so we're getting down to those last games. You can see it closing in on it. I apologize, a little premature there, but 103 left. People getting towards the back half and the back thirds of their games. 49 players left, 28 duos.
Yeah, these games are stacked. Looks like every single game so far has had that Storm Surge active, and these placement points are coming in around the 7th, 8th circle. So you have to be able to survive, have to keep your duo alive, have to manage your mats and your heals all the way through. Impact Fixie going up a few layers, looking for any more vantage points, any more sight lines he can block off. A launch pad coming in as people start to rotate to that 5th zone. A little bit early, but the zone just started moving. Ballers all around. A lot of open pyramid edits as well, as Fixie takes a few shots but has those shields available, going up for another big shot up or another build up. Alliance Powder goes down. So as we said, these early rotations, then the cutoffs, they're huge in terms of picking up free elims on people moving.
And somebody just tried to force that box as well with that flint knock. Fixie being not about it. Powder is getting enough space to be revived there. You can see that in the top right corner of your screen as the rotation comes out. Not a single player dropped on that rotation so far. We are still at 49 left, and this is kind of the proliferation of those heals. You see more people carrying heals, carrying shields. It allows you to take chip. If you get chipped on rotation, no longer out. Good wall replace there from Shaw and Nira. Getting into Noisy's box. Can they get the wall again as he gets to take it back? Does get it. Can they get the stairs in? And they do. Noisy and Arctic Dangerous going down. Well done from the EVD duo.
Even with all this mobility, these guys now know the meta. It's week 10. Everyone's already caught up. You have to be able to go for these elims when you have the tools, when you have the pressure and that ping advantage as well. Shaw on full HP, Nirwa at full HP as well. Both sitting on a few elims for each other on pops. 25 people left alive. That Storm Surge is going to start ticking as well, as we haven't gone down to that 30 threshold just yet. A lot of action on low ground. Ballers still available to a lot of people as well.
And no, one thing you do talk about that ping advantage, it certainly does not hurt to have the better internet going in there. But shout out to SEE and the Vietnamese team being the first one coming through there and putting on a show last night. And I think it's actually something that's a little bit more mitigated when it comes to duos because of the strategies that end up going through, where you'll have one person forcing the wall, the other person trying to replace, or the other person isn't actually trying to get the wall right there, but they're trying to get the stair in first so then they can get the wall there. And you get to start playing games like the double combats, looking for the player in the sky there with the shadow bomb. As you see, their Storm Surge is active. We'll need to go to 30 players, and they got the knock onto Haibuzan courtesy of the storm right before taking to the sky.
Looks like these guys are at the very highest point of this rift as well. They get to make the final decision onto where to land. No pressure from them at all as you look over. Not that much going on in mid-ground to protect height as it's getting shot out by Rapti. No elims coming out just yet. Everyone playing very, very safe and tunneling very well at the moment. Crew just gets powdered down once again. Scribbly Doggy now looking for any other shots down below his mid-ground tarp layer. That's an option a lot of mid-ground bases have. They can look down anywhere in their box, just protect the top and look for any squeeze eliminations on the bottom side of the map.
And we're going back on this rotation, so you can see how Scribby and his teammate just immediately turn backwards and start editing through their tunnel. Now they can just slowly edit backwards. Fire shot, Stink goes out, they spray shots towards it, but it is actually Lanoof who gets that knock. Killigore does go down as well. Lanoof and Clinton had previously qualified, but are doing their best in here. You see Violin in the top left as we get closer and closer to the placement threshold. Kazuna and Scribby, good job cycling out right now. Lanoof does end up going down, as well as a Supremacy Attack, who was in that top 10. However, they need to be cautious. Other maps starting to get a little lower and a lot of tunnels going on around here.
Yes, and it's actually amazing what these guys are doing right now. They're waiting and tunneling as much as possible, not peeking too hard, then waiting for utility to get used. Any rifts, you go for those big shots in the air. Nesty going down now from a lower tarp layer. Once again, they're waiting for people to stop and make mistakes and capitalizing on everything as they did on the stinks before as well.
That was a huge swing, puts them up to 7 eliminations and into the top 15. That was a 5-point bonus right there for this duo and into 30 points, up into the conversation. You can see Shaw then gets the knock onto Waste as everyone gets sent down on ultimate high as Nura is trying to work upwards and get some form of connection. He has the next lowest tarp, and he's just going to drop down and say, whatever. Here's all those heals and the utility we talk about as we close in on the next placement threshold. 11 duos left, 14 players, so a lot of solo riders, 8 of them hanging out, while only the 3 full duos.
No challenges coming on from height either, which allows Shaw to get these easy pressure picks with this gold scar. These guys making sure their rotations are perfect. Lol Boom now going down. When you have this time, when you have the Pro-Am weekend to prepare your loadout, your loot path, you get these big loadouts that are gold, all the heals you need. Another knock coming in from Nirwa. They're just tearing on this high ground at the moment.
They're doing brilliant, making sure they're getting good angles, but some shots going up, finally going to force them. And that's one thing we've talked about. Uncontested high ground is great until somebody from the low ground decides to take notice of you. And that's one thing. Only one raining down the shots. However, cover yourself up and just reset. You'll get that advantage back. As you can see, Nura and Shaw doing a brilliant job of this, but look at the chaos on the low ground. Right now, you have Nura in your top right, Scrib Doggy in your bottom right. The rest of the action on the left side as Nali gets taken down by Kazuna, and we have our top 5, so it's all about the elims and the victory route as Violinin finds Fixie right after he gets past the 3 duos left. Drop down ends up coming through. Scrib Doggy will he find it, but instead Nura comes in late to the party, cleans up 1, cleans up 2, and that is it. Shaw and Nura take home the victory royale. 10 eliminations, 44 points, putting them in contention again. We're into the final hour of Europe. We're right there. These are the matches that decide those last spots. 4 are up for grabs, Shy. That's it. 4 left.
It's all around the world, man. Low, mid, and height, everything getting contested. Juice to milk for eliminations on every single layer. And Shaw and Nirwa just played it perfectly there. We see the chaos of all these builds, all these layer switches, people just trying to survive. It is the last week as well. Everyone's just trying out all these builds, all these layers. 9 weeks preparation they've had solos and duos. A lot of people splitting up, all duos as well. We see that a lot in NAs as well in EU as we get into this next game.
Oh, let's go. Come on, Issa and Camo. Oh, let's go. Come on, Issa and Camo. Right there. My mic's working now. That skin's absolutely fire.
You can see Representative Issa and Camo's 8 elims right now. Super impressive, and there you go. Finally now into that last hour. 3rd time was the try, 56 minutes remaining, and again, if you are just joining us and it's one of your first weekends watching, it is 3 hours or 10 matches. The semifinals were played yesterday, and the qualifying spots are in the top right. We have already seen the BES duo advance out of Oceania and the Trigger QQ duo from Vietnam take home the spot out of Asia. Which 4 will join them in Europe? And who do you got your eyes on, Shai?
For me, at the moment, I think that Shaw is just playing amazingly right now. I also think that there's going to be a lot of chances for Camo and Issa to pop off as well. They've been up and down in the leaderboards at the moment, but as we can see over here, these high elim games, if you get 1 or 2 pop-offs right back into the running, there is only an hour left, but everyone's already experienced in playing their 10 games, knowing that, hey, if we're behind 2 or 3 games, we can play a little bit aggro here and then catch up with those big placement types of games later on. So hopefully these guys and their game plans work out. We'll see what's up right now. A little bit of a sneaky game coming in, a 4-gun loadout, which we don't see too much from Issa, with combats, ARs, drum guns, a very AR-heavy medium ammo loadout. Low people as well on mid at the moment. A lot of calmness. When there's not too many people in the server, you have these stalemate moments where a lot of people get to have a lot of information. Now, this is good for 2 reasons. One, the people who are boxing up know a lot of things about one another, but the bad part about it is that if everyone has information on everyone, there's so many more sightlines that get abused and used for eliminations left and right around the whole map.
Yeah, it's much harder to manufacture eliminations in this circumstance because everyone is used to playing. And it's kind of nuts that we've gotten to the point in Fortnite where 39 people in a fifth circle is like, oh yeah, you know, that's not that dense, you know, it's fine, you got some room to move around and work with. But like, normally the reason people say play for late is because when you get so chaotic, if you are deliberate and you're able to get your rotation down, you will get opportunities to pick off other players. And you can see there just how aggressive these guys have been. 1,102 damage above the Storm Surge threshold. Again, that will turn off once we get down to below 30 players. As you see the launch pad come out, no bonks there. Thought about challenging for height instead. Gonna go far side of the zone and box up and turn.
Camo now missing his partner, actually. They finally get together once again. He's going to be boxing up with
Backs up,
elims to happen.
yeah.
These guys have 8 elims together in total. Heavy Snipe coming into onto the box as well in front of them. No follow-up, though, as it's not possible. These guys are on split layers, although that's very good for sight lines and different vantage points. Sometimes the synchronization can get desynchronized when you're not together with your duo partner.
Stay with your buddy. Particularly, it's week 10, come on. Like, how many times, like, unless your name is Mongrel, like, trying to just 1v2 the rest of the lobby generally hasn't worked out for a lot of players. And right now, Issa and Camo recognizing that, getting back together, still on 8 elims, and now they're going to try and kind of level out the loadout. Interesting to see him dropping the heavy sniper in favor of still running the double AR, but I'm Trash living up to his name there as Issa just blasts him with the combat shotgun. Can't poke there, can't challenge against one of the best players out of Europe. Gets the conversion over, and we're closing in on that top 15.
Very, very smooth build over there to get right back up to his partner. But no, these guys are split now. Issa going on for a 1v1. Camo getting a nice low tier or low ground knockdown on his enemy. Max going down on 60 hertz. You gotta up those hertz, but you gotta see these people coming. Camo moving around. Issa popping off on his lair as well.
Oh, jeez.
The whole server, making sure everything's getting shredded down on numbers. Ash going down as well. The finish is coming out.
13 kills. So oh my! Oh, go on, Issa.
What's happening over here,
15 elims now. He just ran up to 15 elims, and notice how he's constantly checking his side. Can make it 16. Zaito.
Oh my! Issa, let's go.
You need a teammate. He says, Mongrel, who? My name is Ghost Issa, and I'm here to make a play. Camo's in a box. What's in a box?
Let's go.
They want to make it to New York City. They want to go together. One isn't enough as we're closing in on the top 10. 38 points so far, 17 elims. They're already on 22 points just from this match, but they will not stop.
Issa's has 14 kills. Oh!
Goes down, traps his arm right next to him, and they're into the top 10. Issa picks up another one on the high ground. They're on 19 now. He needs to circle.
Come on.
Find the zone, and he finally does. Narsti goes down, delay goes down.
19 kills. 20 kills in a World Cup. 21 kills. Man.
That's significant at all. Still both alive on separate. They're playing solos. Guys, you queued up for the wrong mode. What's going on? It's 9 circle, 8 people alive, both on separate layers. Still 3 stinks available for pressure, doing their own thing. Back to back intensive goes down the work.
No, it's just slow.
Another sting going on height to help out his buddy Issa.
Oh no, come on.
Camo. Finally, these guys are getting put in check. Issa taking stinks. 1 HP. He goes down.
Issa's dead.
Mini coming up. The enemy pops in with a heavy sniper.
No way. This popped off like that. They had like 24 kills.
Going and bullying the last solo player left alive. Issa's big rain going down. Camo also going down as well. Offline with a big combat shotgun pop shot. Intensive 8x finally going down as well. They secure the elim points. They secured the victory royale as well. But Camo and Issa, holy moly.
That was huge right there, but not to be understated. Alpha and Duo picking up 18 points right there, 8 elims and the victory route. Zeke, that was nuts.
Sundown, that was absolutely insane. I mean, first of all, it's so awesome to hear Shai's voice and hear how incredibly he's a casting. Let's just...
A great first cast. That was
great
beautiful.
first cast, especially in that game with Issa and Camo. Controller Lords, you got to think with another pop-out performance like that.
Yes.
They could be potentially contesting for a spot.
They could be the only full controller duo to qualify for a World Cup. It is the last chance for any of that to happen. So with games like that, Zeke, this
is just the start of the day, by the way. This is the first block of games. We have way more Fortnite, but for now, let's hang out with Bala. I know you pulled some clips for us to take a look at. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I can explain. I can explain some clips here of what happened into those games. Tickle I mean, he's by himself. He's trying to clutch up, and everything was going wrong there. He ended up being placed underneath the stairs. His heavy snipe didn't get the wall. The turbo build came in, and then even here, getting the stairs placed, this duo was going to come out on top of him, but he's able to stay composed, get the elimination, and then another situation that was unexpected. Somebody lands right behind him. He still managed to get away, even with low HP. And when we look at the leaderboards at the front, we saw all of these teams that were in this game here, Orc and Andalex on high ground. They use the chug splashes to recoup a little bit before, and Telek unfortunately gets a little antsy, jumps out, and that's going to be the end because both Andalex and Orc are looking down on top of him. Here, Osmo goes on a tear with his teammate Milan. And I mean, some of the things that they did here, this was really interesting to me because you used to run out in the storm and just tank the damage from the storm to get the loot. But in this case, he's using the chug splash to recover instantly. And then what a catch there from Osmo. Look at another team here, Provoked and Imagine, who are so close to qualifying week
Provoked
week,
just win.
especially last week 8. Provoked actually goes down on a waterfall there as somebody makes his way there. But this shot was disgusting. He didn't even actually get that elimination. He did a 112 to him to the face. But actually, Jorge, who was up on high ground towards the end, managed to nag that.
On your left? Oh, yes, no mount.
Carnifex and Army by himself. Back on Imagine, though, is Osmo finally, because he doesn't have his shotgun reloaded, ends up going down. Imagine with the good attempt after we saw Provoked end up going down from fall damage, takes out Risk while in the storm, and then makes another storm play to kind of try to catch him by surprise, but it's not going to be enough. But it was so close, Zeke. This shot right here, and then look at this. He was so close. He already had his crosshair on his face, but no. Jorge is going to take the win just barely by milliseconds here, Zeke. This was so close.
Man, coming down there to the wire, man, this is just what Fortnite is, right? Like, everyone's going to give it their all. Everyone wants to qualify, and that's the kind of stuff we're seeing. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see how things are shaking out currently. I can't even read.
Den Maggie's, I don't
Oh,
know.
Benji Fish and Mr. Savage Emma in second.
And TTB on the Beast, we know you. You've been hanging out here for a while. At the top still, though, 7 games remaining.
Yeah.
This is pretty substantial. 3 victory odds right now, 100% win rate.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That is ridiculous. I mean, 62 points. This might be flipped here. Games remaining versus matches played. Possibly Miss Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. We've seen them week after week, and people are starting to, use that Fishy tag at the end of their name to get the good luck. But I mean, for Wolfies and Rojo were up here earlier. They've got 57 points now. They dropped down from 1st to 4th. Skite and Vato, who are just barely, I think they got 9th place twice in a row in the duos week. So that's one of the French-speaking duos that have not yet made it. We saw the Solar guys go through before, and then some of these other guys as well. Andalex and Orc, we saw their win. And Dreda, who had the crazy performance in week 9. You guys watched it. Just unbelievable. So it's shaping up. I mean, I'm already seeing Skite and Vato. I'm starting to get excited because they start to play better as time goes on. And we just have all but time right now. It's running down though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready to get back into these games. Balla, if you are as well, I think we're going to send it back over to Sundown and Shy. Gentlemen, back over to you and keep the action rolling.
Thank you so much, Zeke and Balla. All good, Shy, no worries. But I'm so excited, like you said. We saw so many of those guys up on that top board. It's so incredibly dense. 52 players in this lobby, 28 duos remaining, and again, the 4 final spots. We're coming down to it right now. That line, because the Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy duo have already qualified, would be 54 points. 51 was on the bottom. 3 points separating everyone. That's how tall you have to be to ride the ride. And Storm Surge is on again, Shy.
The pressure's active in EU, and we are in pressure plan as well. The lava's hot. These skins look hotter. The guns look very nice as well with that new camo that's out in the shop as well. A lot of edits going up and around. Once again, Geyser's up in play.
That new camo's sick. I really want it.
But a miss coming in from Speezy, very, very close. The opponent's head. Baller's getting shot down on Storm line. Once again, a very good position. A lot of people playing for pre-position advantage points and then milking those elims rather than getting them on the fly. The guys are being baited now. Can the beams come through? White HP on that opponent. His fly gets cut short. Jargo's going down now. Where's his dual partner? We don't know. His finish is going to be coming out now as these sweaty soccer skins, Alex and Speezy, are just going to be tearing up this low ground, making sure no one's allowed to be this tall for this EU ride on the northeast side of the map.
And you see them actually able to get into the mid-ground. Alex was the player from the Winter Royale who hadn't played competitive before. It was just always in the arena duos and said, hey, I'm pretty good at Fortnite, and through the open structure has now been in all of these end games. But Speezy now going to opt to tarp away. We'll see the conversion happen onto Alec, and now has to make some tough decision in terms of loot. Is going to drop the heavy snipe in favor of taking the rift. Will he opt to fix anything else up? And you can see now he's trying to go back through and just make sure he gets every possible little bit he can.
In these solo spots, when you have to face up against other duos, those spam weapons are always vital. That choice of keeping the drum gun and the AR even on low ammo, Speezy knows at some point is going to be a desperate motion on the low ground or mid ground in terms of making sure that spam is up on opponents' builds. So very smart decision there as we tune into the Fnatic boys. Motor and Vrox going to be looking at their own loot at the bottom here. Have a rift to go as well. Shadows available to get caught up after grabbing the rift, but Motor misses out on those. Not sure if that'll affect him later on. Once again, there are a lot of geysers and a lot of ways to trickle down from height to stay on top of rotation, but that might be a big hit to their loadout and overall play this game.
Yeah, I really hope Vrox grabbed those, because honestly, Shadows are the most consistent in terms of the utility tool, being able to rotate. You have either top down or down up. You're able to rotate and get high ground if necessary and just make really clutch plays in a pinch. As you see, a lot of other people rotating the good old-fashioned way. It's Fortnite, the battle is building, and everyone is tarping up the side of pressure plate and trying to do damage because that Storm Surge is still active. You can see Motor and Vrox about 9 points off that pace right now to be in the top 10, 12 points off qualification pace. What can they do to get themselves closer? There they are. There are the Shadows we saw earlier. Will he be able to grab them? Is that another misgrab coming out from Motor? And we talked about the clutch and the pressure being on. Now actually misses himself with one of the chug splashes too, but doesn't matter. Call him an action hero as he slides down the side of the volcano and finds the elim.
Very smart loop balance from those duos as well. Vrox goes down, but he did have a slurp ticking while he let Motor play with those chug splashes. You know, it's easy to have a very efficient chug splash in duos, but on rotation, it's very hard to hit you and your partner. So very smart decisions there. Motor has to be smarter now in a 1v2 situation, using all his mats, around 800 left now as people go down left and right. 26 people left alive, 18 duos, no placement yet. Once again, 7th zone, and a lot of pressure coming down on Motor. His shield getting knocked down, still has those chug splashes to use on the move, making sure that zone damage is not a problem. Shields, not a problem, as he gets all the way back up to 100 HP. Once again, his early game was amazing. Get those guns out, but his life goes down as well to Bodike.
And he misses the top 15, so no placement points there. Vato and Sky are going to be happy about that, as Vato is still in the lobby. You have Ibu High now with the combat and the flint still rolling around in the ball, and Proxima Star, who was in the top 3, also picking it up there. And Proxima Star being the player who's been around forever, since like the original Summer Skirmish. So good to see his name back up there as Flabo picks up Wraith's Guard, and we're closing in on the top 10. Buhai trying to find a decent amount of space there in the middle, but somebody is way up on Ultimate High as we're rotating around. Zeke gets blasted by Flavo in the back. Will the elim come through? No, he's able to find the zone, but not able to pop it up, as now all of a sudden Old Man Melt, and 1-2 players up top. This is when you wish you had Shadow Bombs. Matsu and Ibu High on the mid ground. Ibu High gets that, but Proxima Star and his teammate just get to rain down shots on the rest of the lobby. Ibu High trying to find, go back over now into the plant. Is only Ibu High in a 1v2, and that's not going to be enough. Fury Legend and Proxima Star going to close that one out. 6 elims and the victory round. That's how they were at 57 points. That's what got them up there, and hopefully they can keep on that pace to qualify.
They ended that game so fast, still had 9 impulses and 2 smoke grenades left at the end, but they decided to just give the lobby a whole haircut as we move in. Once again, the same zone. Geysers going up once again. A lot of launch pads can be saved on this 5th zone rotation. A lot of mats can just be saved as well when you're up in the air, not taking too many shots and facing up, going for these big vantage points as well. Benji Fishy now, the inspiration for a lot of duos in the EU region, getting their name switched for that good, sweet luck in terms of qualifying He's getting checked on his edit, getting a little bit too close there, giving his fish hat a little bit of a haircut. A lot of heals being used on that as well. Could be a mistake that proves fatal at the end of the game.
And one thing I do like, though, is with how many more shields there have been in the games, is players are taking more risks. They're poking out more. They're looking for more trades. They're willing to go take fights because it's like, hey, if we don't get everything here, it's not the end of the game. As Ricolas finds a great double snipe onto him, that's what we talk about, always making sure you cover 2 layers. So what are they going to do? They're going to disengage down and over 1 layer and make sure they're boxed up. They are already very close to the safe zone, not quite in it, so we'll need to rotate just slightly over, but have the guys that are there to do it. I mean, this lobby's stacked. You see Crew, Nairo, Milan, Osmo, Chapik, Snowda. Jeez.
We get into these last 4 games, and the games only get bigger with better players over and over. Aqua in here with Nyrox as well. We're going to be tuning into their super dope position up top on this hill. Going to be cutting off a lot of people rotating from mid-ground. They're going to just have to rotate early, though. They're not in zone just yet, dropping just a few layers, but every layer you do drop, that's a box saved on mats. So moving diagonally this way is very smart, but also risky because you have a little bit less of protection from front. You just saw there Nyrox trying to get double sniped off of his position, but is dynamic in his box, saves that up. Utility now getting split from each duo, making sure each person has a nice exit plan in case that fire alarm sounds in their game and stuff hits the fan. Nyrox going to be looking out, up and around for any vantage points. 5th circle to 6th is that kind of stalemate time where you can look for picks. He gets a nice 33 damage shot on a duo moving down bottom. Aqua looking through his pyramid, looking for any information up on the map as well.
Yeah, and they're just trying to chill. They're just trying to hang out right now, doing everything they can to keep whatever amount of space and to get over on the far side of the zone right away. And that's one thing we've talked about a number of times. When these moving zones come in and you have utility, you want to pop it, get far side, box up, and then turn and see the rest of the lobby. Here's a prime example of it. That's white damage. Going to follow it up right away with the stink grenade. You don't get away from that. He's going to continue pouring down the pressure, and that is Blood X of the 11 going down on the side. Brilliantly done, but can they convert onto it? The Storm will move past it, so they want to go over and try and get whatever mats as well as that siphon on it.
Once again, EU is so good at just using their utility and following up with the shots. Nyrox now going down, unfortunately, could not cover his head up top. Very still smart plays there, playing off of his thing, saving that last one until he had damage rather than just using it for an impact in the game. Always make sure you're milking the most out of the stuff you have in your inventory. Benji now still alive with Savage, looking for a reload while the wall goes down. Very unfortunate there. That small mag size of the infantry rifle proving to be fatal in terms of getting that elimination point. Benji and Savage now in the same box, getting caught up in a big community rift. Chapik's going down, getting knocked all the way. Not sure in the rift or beforehand. That Elam coming through, though, that shield will go back up once that server starts moving and the Storm goes over that down enemy.
So he actually got knocked because that was the shot that he hit right before on him. That was the 87 tick. The Storm ended up then ticking him over and then getting it. That was that extension where it's a minute after you've damaged someone. But we have our top 15, so 3 placement points going out to everyone. The Fishies getting those as well, so on 5 points so far from this match. And also still 2 Shadow Bombs with a lot of mats, so they're going to be able to play for late as Andretta gets picked up. So did get the top 3 points going there from top 15, but not anything more there. Majin provoked on the mid tarp. You see I'm the Beast and Magisk posts on the high ground above him. Takeoffs just below. Zappy and Red Rush, another duo who have already qualified just below. Anonymous 27, not to be confused with Anonymous 72, just below Dementos here as he's tarping towards the side, trying to make it into the top 10.
A lot of mid-ground tarps coming out now. The zone will start moving in more awkward ways. A little bit of time for Dementos at the moment to see if he can put pressure down up top or down below. Putting vertical pressure upwards as a mid-ground tarper is very, very hard. His duo is down, but does have 6 eliminations. Pay over there. These guys have 8 in total. Looks like it's going to be 9 now, unless no, it was just a finish on Dementos. He's going to be going over on his tarp once again.
But it got him into the top 10, so it's fine that it wasn't his conversion because he still gets 2 points going there from knocking that team out right as the teammate went over. Now Dementos trying to find some room. So far they have gotten 13 points from this match, but they need to pick up the pace there. We saw the top duo was on 60 plus, being up 44. Needs every possible points as 27 picks up Trox. Dementos still trying to tarp over, edits himself back in, finds an angle, but immediately gets cut off. Provoked finds the conversion onto 27, and Dementos is just gonna chill, popping that utility. And again, we've talked about it, just so many more risks and time you get there. As I was gonna drop down and start to contest. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shots. Can he find it? 4. finally gets it after using 6 of the 10 combat shots there, but stops Provoke and gets him into the top 5. That could have end up being huge, but Pulse and I'm the Beast working top down right now. Look at the chaos on the low ground. Tohaj being picked up by Benji Fishy and evade ADDZ adds, closing him out there.
Lewis.
And Demento's blowing up. Adds there as now it's a 1v2.
Lewis.
Demento's in the bottom right. I'm the Beast in the top right with his partner. Magi's post. And there for the high ground. Demento's goes. Launchpad straight up. Max Glide Height comes in. Can he build it away? Magi's pops him off. Demento's trying to get back in the zone, but Magic Pulse brilliantly done, so well executed, and that is why they're on the top, sitting up there currently with the 62 points.
What a close match going right down to the wire. One more shot is all he needed there, but it was not possible to not connect the duo.
Jeez, look at them build balls.
This pattern, very, very smart solo play there, making sure he can pick up all the eliminations before the game ends, even though it's a 1v2 spot right here. Now we got Nauka and MXR, who are both chilling in their big base. Looks like next to Stormline as well, one of the best positions you can be in. Very, very nice loadout there for them as well. They've got the long range beam, the follow up with the drum as well, and that crucial combat shotgun, which did get nerfed a little bit on this patch, but it's still the fire rate and swap delay coming off allows you to make so many cool plays.
Lewis, turn your mic up.
Eliminations at the moment, so they must make this effort to catch up near the end.
I'm watching the World Cup.
Just one thing in terms
the
of
Fortnite World Cup.
I feel like it's kind of mitigated just because of the removal of the shotgun timer. It ends up allowing you.
I'm watching the Fortnite World Cup. Are you gonna watch it?
Out and you're able to effectively tarp and shoot at the same
Go
time.
to the lobby and click R2 and then click square.
The slight change in the range in terms of the tiles and how much damage it does. So the combat still being very, very, very strong in the current meta, but you can see MXR being able to push in, trying to find the conversion. Is some pressure from above and just goes for it. Gianni Jr. showing why he's not Gianni Sr. being taken down there.
What, are you watching him?
No placement points for you and a lot of time wasted in that lobby.
Just a dope reaction there to look up and then look straight up or straight ahead of himself. MXR just carrying that fight right there. Yuntos and Ryu now getting focused by the whole server. Very unfortunate when this happens. Stink's coming down as well, so that's going to be a very, very hard decision to get out of. Ryu now going down. Heiko getting his 3rd elimination, putting him and Ono kill together. On on 4 eliminations there, making sure their points get counted up. 35 points total at the moment. That placement point's going to be coming in, and 4 more duos coming down. 35 people left alive. So that zone surge will also be an option as well.
Yeah, and that was a high value stink. And that's one thing you talk about, you know, it feels really unfortunate when you're getting focused by the whole server, but the reason you're getting focused by the whole server is because you're in an obvious 1x1 that was just rebuilt without priority on the next
Do you need to have qualified?
It's much easier to just pile in. You can hear the riff go off left eye, trying to hit it, trying to do everything he can, will end up finding it.
No, you just need to qualify in the arena qualifiers.
18 duos left.
Whoops.
Everyone has a buddy with him.
And then, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a stacked team-based endgame at the moment. A lot of 4-gun loadouts also coming in together right now. Dan Zizzle going down on shadow nades. A lot of multiple high ground tarps. A lot of them go down. Cazorla is going to be up top. 1 shadow nade left on Heiko at the moment. Andre going down from Cazorla's high ground pick. He gets finished off. Heiko gets that big reward off of it. The mats, the utility campfires as well for the end game. Pickaxe is coming full swing, making sure every wall is theirs before they set on the next move. Not quite in zone yet, but that tunnel will be very, very proficient. We're talking about those combat changes as well before. That also changes the range of engagement, as now we have more ARs. The style of the game and how it actually flows as more people are basing up to shoot rather than shooting on the fly if they're not going to be able to box fight, changes the way people move around the map as well.
And it kind of has given a little bit of a resurgence, what we've seen so far, to the drum gun. It allows the drum gun to have a little bit more of that mid-range feel to it, to where it is going to out-prioritize the combat shotgun, whereas before the drum gun very much so got forced out in terms of effectiveness as we hit our top 15, so 3 points going over from everyone, because why run a drum gun when you can have an FSA rifle and then the combat? But now there really is kind of a space that's between, like, it's closer to like 4 to 9 tiles where the drum gun just shreds. And even now you can see, boom, tack AR, turn about face, 2 elims right there for Johnny Boy and Cazrola. brilliantly done once those will end up taking over. They do have the top 15 as well, as Dance Hizzle gets forced out of the lobby. Proxima Star also gets down, and everyone gets pulled up into the sky. We're closing in. Boom, top 10 next placement threshold. 6 Chug Splashes still left. We haven't seen them use to their full potential just yet in these endgame Storm heal-off scenarios. Proxima Star not going down, the high ground star of the last few games that we saw. A lot of wood builds means that these spam weapons are going to pack a wallop, as Johnny Boy gets another knockoff on Ibuhai, the baller player we saw from the other game as well. These rapscallions being sneaky, moving around in brick, metal, and wood. A lot of these big mats now finally coming out, making sure that spam gets stopped down, but more pressure vertically being put down as lair switches come down from their opponents as well. Johnny Boy getting that pickup, maybe not the elimination there, as Onokill also gets another one on top. Yeah, and it was a really good try from Janus there to disengage, dropping back down, but unfortunately was spotted. But Team Queso lighting up Zohan is able to find 3 elims, making a 4th, as the Spaniards are just dragging their way almost into the top 5, but now Cazorla doing everything he can on the side of the zone. Johnny Boy is still up as well. Great 130 shot in the immediate
Lewis, are you there?
He didn't try and follow it up right away, but he does. That was Fury Legend. Proxima Stars duo is going to get taken out and outside of the top 5, so that's 2 points is leaving down there. 1 Chug Splash is tossed out there as we're closing in. 9 players left, 6 duos remaining, chat. Yayas has all the pressure on him now to get that last placement spot. He is low on HP, but it is kind of free for that. Once again, it goes through 4 duos left now. MXR is still alive. His dual partner as well is going to be a big fight on the low ground, and 1 person clearing things from the high ground. Low ground, though, we do have almost 11 Chug Splashes available as these boxes get bursted into. Onoko going down to MXR. Another quick flick. Yayas going down. He tried to come off from high ground. Maybe he ran out of mats, but nothing worked out for him there. A 4-gun loadout. That heavy sniper still being available. Priority reload on it as well. 3 duos left. Looks like Nauka is down at the moment. MXR moving up on the highest priority ground right now. There might be someone higher than him actually at the moment. Heiko and Johnny Boy on the bottom as well with Cazorla. We'll see what they can do. MXR is going to be controlling this fight at the moment. Heiko, these Chug Splashes coming down from Johnny Boy and Cazorla. They have so many to use amongst themselves. They're finally going to run out. They're going to be a little bit late on the storm. Heiko going down. Johnny Boy and Cazorla are going to be fighting it out against each other as well. MXR is going to be pressured from the top. Johnny Boy goes down. Cazorla now has to avenge his dual partner and see what can be done here. Both people taking storm takes. MXR coming down, but the heavy sniper is not enough as Cazorla wins that game out all the way.
Are you allowed on after 9 o'clock?
Making sure he pops off at the right moment, making the best decisions possible.
No.
Touching out that game for his dual partner. It was all about the Chug Splashes. You called it early, but he went, he hung out on the low ground, and even though he got the siphon, MXR was not able to close out the match just because he had the Chug Splashes and had everything he needed. And that's something, again, a new mechanic you can use on your teammate, but because it's instantaneous HP,
when are you going to sleep?
Now kind of been something that's been really solid in the meta for a long time. When you get to end game, you know, hey, like if a person has a campfire plus bandages, I can do this. Or if I take one tick, I can get a med kit out. Or hey, if I get a siphon under 50 HP, like I'm guaranteed to close this match out. But it's just not enough. And now we're gonna
at 9 o'clock. Do you want to play like a couple games?
Thank you guys so much, man. European action just never disappoints. Again, Sanan describing the Chug Splash recent edition. I think there's still more of this we haven't seen. I think players are still kind of developing strategies with it, and I want to see how they continue to improve upon using that splash. Now, of course, guys, before we go to break, let's take a look at the standings together. Let's get a sense of where things are, because we're moving into this final block of games. Right now, as it stands, the Lestream duo of Skite and Vato are sitting in that #1 spot. Now, you have talked about this, all right? You said these guys have been edged out several times, and the most recent time was to the Solary entire squad. You got to think they want revenge, right? They want in.
Yeah, in week 6 it was Hunter, Kinstar, and Airwaxanikov, and then in week 8 it was, of course, Hunter and Kinstar again. But I mean, 2 duos weeks in a row, they got 9th place. Finally, Skite had some success in week 9 in the solos, so it seems that that success is carrying through here. They have 3 games remaining, 65 points, and this is just awesome there. Of course, we look down the list as well. Y and TJ, they've been through, you know, the entire 10 weeks we've been following slightly. They're almost pushing up there, and of course, Y had some pop-off performances beforehand the World Cup even started, and then we watched Magisk and I'm the Beast. their performance there, we haven't seen too much of a movement here yet in that score, right? 62 points is where we left them off in that game, and they're still obviously probably playing. We'll see if that updates, if they move back into that first place and then moving down the list. Basically, so we have Wolfies and Rojo, they keep moving down and slowly going down. So there is 4 spots up for grabs. And something that's different though, no Stompy and Shinken, no Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. They're down here right now, but they're not taking up these spots. So it is the top 4 that are going to be going through. And since queues are about to close, we're about to start getting into those final matches. This is looking like these guys right now are punching their ticket.
Well, what's scary too is striking distance from 10 to first is only 7 points. It's only 7 points. A straight up victory route is going to get you that 10-point threshold. If one elimination along the way, from 10th, you're jumping into contest number 1. So we'll have to see how things unfold. But for now, Fortnite fam, we are going to go to a short break. Get up, stretch legs. Come right back, though, because we have more Fortnite action after this.
Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nugs. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with brunch. Red juicy's a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nugs. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nugs.
All right, Fortnite fam, we're here for week 9 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. And just like this Cuddle team leader, we are very excited to be here. The final week of solo competition. Hopefully these players can take a bite out of the competition and really keep it top notch. Codename Elf. Guys, are you ready for week 9, the finals day? Man,
I just had a whole bag of cookies.
A whole bag of cookies.
He's the yes man.
I'm so happy I don't have to be near Zeke for much longer.
We got some qualification. We got a dancing banana too. I want to see Zeke wear that at some point during the World Cup.
Fortnite fam, you guys know I love it when you use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We actually have a social producer that helps sift through all the tweets and all the incredible things you guys send us, and his name is Nick Brown.
All right, guys, my name is Nick Brown, and for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers, I've been working as a social producer. So basically, every time any of the casters say use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, I'm the one who plays defense to make sure that none of those cheeky tweets with bad words end up on the big screen.
All right, Courage, let's go to the kitchen. Let's get ourselves some food.
What we got? Some garlic bread. Is that chicken parmesan? Oh my God, it's chicken parm! Yes! You okay? Do I need to put this one back? Bro, they put garlic bread in front of me. You think I'm not gonna get 3 pieces? Come on.
What's up, Fortnite fam? It's Squints here, and recently we've been trying to level up the observing, so we challenged our observers to get cool dynamic shots and keeping them smooth and technically awesome. And let's share some of our favorite shots with you guys.
I can't imagine the weight that these competitors must feel on their shoulders.
Whoa, okay. Wow. Seems like the observers are having a little bit of a competition back there.
All right, observers, let's get it.
And then tried to challenge those fights, and that just freaked me out.
What? Speaking about something freaky.
There is a Nick just above Chap's foot. Because apparently that's someone's name in Fortnite. You don't know about that, Jack? No. I mean, you really need to step up your competitive Fortnite knowledge. It's okay though. It's Chap's foot. Like physically, he plays. I hate you.
What's up? It's Monster D-Face.
What's up?
Yo, Monster. You know you're my favorite?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I told you were my favorite, would you believe me?
Probably not. We all know Sundown's his favorite, guys. That's why, dude. Right there.
What?
Dude, it messes me up.
You know, a lot of people ask me what the best part about replay is. It's got to be working next to GFX Becca.
People ask me all the time what the best part about being a practice operator is.
someone here specifically that keeps the ball rolling no matter what happens, and his name is Jordan.
What's up, Fortnite fam? My name's Jordan, and I am the production manager on the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. My job includes making sure the production happens smoothly, handling staffing, catering, any technical issues that may arise, making sure everyone else is doing their job.
He's really good at stuff.
We're on a break, and Jeff is going for the high score.
Oh my God.
That's really special. And he has the
Not
space
for
to be
you.
able to rain him down. I don't know if he realizes it's completely uncontested. But
It's over. Week 9 is done. Goodbye.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam, to week 10 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. My name is Pookie Face. We've gotten into a little bit of the European action. We're playing duos today. I know I'm excited to see how everyone fares. We only have a few more spots left in New York at the end of July. So without further ado, I want to get into more games, but in order to do that, I need some casters. I got Zeke. I got Bala. Boys, take it away.
Thanks so much, Pookie. We are here. Can't stress this enough. This is the final week. This is it, week 10, the final opportunity, the final chance for players to earn a spot in the World Cup Finals in New York City. It cannot be more stressful than this.
No, it can't. There's only 4 spots up for grabs in the EU, and we're already seeing the story shape up. Skyt and Vato might be making that last-second clutch into New York City. But let's get into action because we have to figure out who is going to be left standing when the dust is all settled. So let's get into games.
Here we go. The first game of the block. So don't forget, those queue times, very, very close to being all wrapped up. Then we're going to have a little bit of extra time to just make sure everyone gets all their games through and completed. Don't forget it's 3-hour window or 10 matches, whichever comes first. Hopping on here with Kiklos, ZQ and his partner, Swats. 4 elimination between them. 41 players remain in the current lobby with 22 duos still left. Look at this circle right now.
Yeah, it's going over that entire ravine there, the bridge in the middle. So kind of a little bit of a treacherous path, but I can already see, just based on the stances of some of these players are taking, they're ready to hop over with the launch pads or shadow bombs or whatever they might be using, and to get in that half in, half out, which is positioned right on that big hill with the, you know, the tree of life, as I call it.
Yeah, that's one that I've taken. I just used to call it Big Tree, then I was like, no, Tree of Life makes sense. But if you're watching the bottom right, you see all the triangles. They're already converging on the new save. So Nyroc's gonna get ripped out of the air immediately. That is another elimination, and Swats confirms it there. 5 between the duo now, and this is huge. Now keep in mind they're pretty separated, but I mean, Kiklos is in the baller, so he can kind of navigate as he needs to.
Yeah, but separation is, you know, what actually caused that elimination to go down onto Nyroc's Aqua.
Oh, the baller.
Oh, no.
Well,
that is so sad to see. Just like he took out Aqua, he actually blew up his launch pad right before he managed to get on it. So Aqua going a little bit too fast, but here he's going a little bit too fast for his baller. And again, split from his teammate, just like he said, Zeke. Is he going to be able to find anything from here on this low ground position? A little bit tough.
You know, trying to divide and conquer, I mean, it can work for you, right? Like, if you've got the confidence, you've got the skill, you can absolutely make it work. But look how far away diagonally he is right now. I mean, you got to think this is the top 1%, right? Don't forget the top 3,000 or 1,500 duos from the region move on to finals. Maybe you'll catch some people off guard, but for the large part, you're not going to catch many, like, incredible players off guard with that kind of tactic, right? Like, they're going to be looking. They're waiting. Like, someone's going to do something cheeky here. I just feel it. 44-88. Oh, my God. Okay, listen, ref's guard. Well, all right, I was going to say pull off another shot. He just beat me to the punch. It's like, Zeke, I got you. Don't worry.
Infantry rifle being used right through the window. So strong at putting out those high damage numbers right away, taking down that duo. And actually going to manage to snag the loot as well. Meanwhile, on the rest of the server, I did see Boyer and Crippa. I saw Dementos in the lobby. So Boyer and Crippa, one of those teams that a lot of people were looking forward to, you know, qualify for New York, but not have yet having those performances in this lobby. We'll see what they're able to do. Obviously, Haxguard and Refsguard are Haxcore, sorry, are way on their way towards that top of the leaderboard, but the RPG coming in.
So I believe, if I remember correctly, I think Cripple was actually picked up, and I think Boyer's by himself. Once we can take a look at the high and wide shots here and establish things, we'll get a better sense. But right now, rotations need to begin happening. Shadow bombs are being popped, and look at this. They try and reposition here with Refsguard. That's good. Team is back together, and the chug splashes. Thank you, teammate. And it comes out. Didn't catch it. The player drops down to 76 over on. There you go. Sigma has been eliminated, going back to the lobby.
And that is exactly how you want to place the traps. When you drop somebody into the box, make sure you place it on that front wall or the roof, and then you can rotate the stairs accordingly. But they have no chance of escaping from the left or the right when you place it in that fashion. Great reaction there from Haxcore and Refsguard, and we're going to stay on them.
First round of placement points coming out. Right now, they have 3 eliminations, which in itself is huge. There you see Boyer goes down, has been eliminated, even Alliance Powder as well. And this lobby is just going to continue to thin out. Edgerkill going to be picked off as well by Pappy, and this just continues. Benji Fishy is also in the lobby as well. He's going to pick up Mav Joe. And right now, I mean, if you're Refsguard and you're Haxcore, you're probably thinking, like, I'm watching the elimination feed. I know these Titans are in here. What are we looking to do, right? You've already got the first round of placement points. You're about to hit the next round. Do you think they just go full send, try to find eliminations, maybe play it a little bit slower? Oh, my God! Please. Oh, God.
I was going to say that's what they're doing right now, but that's definitely going to put them on the back foot. The flint knock is actually going to knock him back into the zone. He used all the chug splashes, so that's not going to be useful to get back in, but Haxcore still up. They did take out Benji, which was the player that RPG'd them, kind of caused them a little bit of chaos and panic. But still alive, still rocking down on this low ground. This is where they've been staying the entire time, and so impactful down here, Zeke.
Look at the lobby now. 6 players remain, all of which are solo riders. No one's got a buddy. Themo here, he's going to find one over on Josa there and find an immediate elimination. Top 5. Another round of placements for everyone in the lobby.
Yeah, but only on wood. These players that are finding down below are not covering their top. He's going to find one. Can he find another? Not just yet. He does have that flint knock if he does need to get back up. But again, no materials, it looks like, or they're playing very sparse with them. Now using that flint knock to get down onto the height that he needs to so he doesn't take any fall damage. No risk, but another player trying to get up over the hill. And unfortunately, Haxcore is left below, but the storm is playing with his favor right now. He's going to be able to get up.
Look at this. Themo's got high ground advantage right now. Haxcore low on HP. And Vic here, he's got, oh, just kidding. I was going to say HP advantage, but it doesn't matter. Haxcore evens the odds. And now Themo has that high ground control. Haxcore's got to do something, but a huge shot comes back over. And this is Themo's game to win 4 eliminations between the duo. Victory Royale, a 13-point game.
Yeah, and they tied, actually, in terms of points with Haxcore and Refsguard. So a valiant effort there from low ground. We saw them completely, you know, stuck down there, no opportunities to get out, but making do with what they get. So they pushed themselves up to over 60 points now, and that is definitely something that you want to be at moving into these last games. The queues are definitely about to close.
There we go. We got another game, of course, more Fortnite action to be had near Happy Hamlet right now. Storm Circle 5. Don't forget, if you're new to Fortnite, the way we've been running the qualifiers, we hop into the Storm Circle 4, 5, sometimes even 6, getting right in the action, skipping past the looting, the drops, all of it, jumping right into all of the action to be had. I think we should probably refresh people on the format just in case they're tuning in for the first time. So guys, don't forget, every single elimination is a point. Top 15, 10, 5 in the victory hour, all the placement thresholds. Look at this. Cubs is just finding elims.
Perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. When you're on the edge of the zones, you have options to get in. He has those shadow bombs if he wants to use them, but you obviously don't want to use all your mobility early. You only have 2 of those, so he forces out the launch pad from the team nearby. If that did not work, he still has the option to go ahead and use those shadow bombs, so doesn't have to worry about that rotation. And honestly, getting a bit of luck based on the players who are coming in, but sometimes you just force it out.
That's right, man. This lobby is still so packed right now. Got so many players. Just a few one-by-ones over. Gafal, though, is going to be dropped immediately, and now we head over to Requiem George and his teammate, 2Gen Ever. They're trying to isolate this player. So this is the one we saw go down and now they're just hunting, trying to make sure they can find this elimination as quickly as possible. I like the way they're navigating this, right? They're breaking 2 separate builds instead of just trying to bash through a single wall. Just making it more difficult. If you're on the inside, you're like, how, you know, they're coming in from 2 different angles. How do we defend against this? They did get the revive off, Paula, but they still have a lot of pressure.
On the same token, when you do go from 2 different angles, you also have to be careful because that's 2 more angles that they can use.
Right.
In that situation being box to box, face to face, 1 wall in between each other, and the stairs there kind of rotated the awkward way. Very difficult to kind of escape from that if they do manage to get that wall, if they do manage to get an angle on you. So deciding to back off, probably the healthy decision, especially as Zone 6 starts to move.
We saw Jords here drop a few, potentially 1 Shadow Bomb for his duo partner ever. And here we go, they're immediately popped. The rotations are gonna come out, but again, this is a very dense lobby. 33 players currently remain, 19 of them being duo partners. They need to find more. You know, you got to think, obviously you want to try and make placement. That's huge, but every extra elimination is going to make the difference on impacting that leaderboard. And I'm sure this is things they're thinking about, right? I'm just thinking aloud right now. Oh, perfect. Castery gets traded out there, trying to make a late rotation. Not today, friend, not today.
What we saw earlier, I mean, they're only at 35 points in this game, but we saw Camo and Issa with that crazy performance to try to push them up in the leaderboards. They weren't in the top 10 last we looked, but, you know, those performances are the one that really push you, not just 1, 2 spaces, but really 5, 10, 20 even in some cases.
That's right, and look up top, FaZe, Vorwin, and Atlantis Tux. They've got themselves the high ground advantage, which is huge. It's going to make a difference. Look at this. Someone trying to challenge, and immediately they say, we need to bail out. This is not the strategy. And Razny gets shredded like shooting fish in a barrel, comes right out of the sky, and the elimination is confirmed.
And this is even with the changes to the combat shotgun, the effectiveness at range getting dropped a little bit, but Warwin not doing anything, not worried about it at all. But here, Tux is going to be fighting for height. I think Warwin, his teammate, needs to start pressuring and stop this. But oh my goodness, what a shot up above the builds. Tux is going to find that elimination just there. Sloopy not going to find the height. Still going to be on Tux and Vorwin. Advantage to them.
Crack a ball right out in front. He drops the player and gets some blue damage numbers. Remember, that's on shield. If it's white damage numbers, they've got no shield. Tuck's gonna soak. Poseidon. Juve just gets ripped as well. People are just being picked off left and right. More shots.
I mean, at a certain point, Zeke, it's, do I even want to glide up there? But hold on, because somebody does go into zone and make a play for height, and that's going to be the signal for Tux and Vorwin to drop down. But as he says that, he's got a partner in crime going down. Nepsi cannot go parallel to Tux. Vorwin still has it, though.
This is huge, too, because he didn't have many builds, and that Elim gave him a ton, so now he can actually go try and meet back up with Vorwin, see how things are going. And, I mean, Tux and Vorwin, they're playing out of their minds right now, but look at everyone down below. So you got a few people in Ballers. Gafal was on lethal HP. So many people in that mid-ground tarp that are now engaging Fremont and his dual partner. 9 eliminations between them. They just hit top 10. 2 rounds of placement points. What in the world? A 14-point game, 15-point game.
Yeah, and we just talked about Camo and Issa's performance, and Fremont and Kong right now making their way towards one of those that will push them up the leaderboards. They're at 66 right now, and maybe making a case for them to go to New York. Fremont and Kong, a little bit of a break right here. They're going to drop those turrets out, make sure that that's not going to be in the trap rotation. He's going to get it. The trap doesn't go. Oh, yes, he did go in, but not going to manage to do it. Finds Rasco regardless. And now his teammate as well. He actually finds Kubex, too, as they drop down all together, but it's now only Fremont. And look at this gaggle of players down below. I don't know if they're going to be able to all survive. Right now, Fremont does go down, and it's now Tux and Vorwin against Edwin on his own. Tux goes down and already finds the shots, and that's going to be the victory royale for Tux and Vorwin.
They played that so well, right? Like, they just waited. They knew, and especially 8 eliminations. An 18-point game, this is massive. This also, we saw the other duo was at 62 points. They're now at 66, so you got to think they're contesting for at least top 5, but for them to realize, like, look, everyone's down below. They're all fighting on that low ground tarp. Let's just hang out in the sky. Let's just do what we do best, wait this out, and, of course, everyone, like fish in a barrel, comes to them. But look at this. Stompy and Shinken here, the little thin pancake who belongs in my heart forever. I mean, these guys, I don't know what else I could say about these guys. Like the fact that they've been on top of the leaderboards weeks in a row. If you've got to think this is a favorite going into Fortnite World Cup Finals. You have to.
I think, I'm looking at everybody using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and all the predictions going in for New York, all the different personalities starting to make their opinions known. Everybody is putting Stompy and Shinken way up there, if not first and second, because they are dominating week after week, and I think we are in for a treat in this game because they're getting close, and they're in the end game, and this is, honestly, I think this might be the first time we've seen them. And you know what they do in end game, Zeke. It is crazy, clinical Fortnite.
They absolutely terrorize the lobby. They just, everything they do is about how can they get an edge up, and then they make sure they're almost like squeezing the life out of you very slowly, right? Suffocating is like the word my mind went to, but it's kind of just like they're bringing the wall.
It is that.
It is that, right?
Because like when they do find an opportunity, they pounce so hard and so fast, and you have no time to react, and they just come from multiple angles, just like this. Stompy from above, Shinken on the bottom, and he already takes down one carries exactly. You see Shinken switching to him right now. He actually can get right behind him, and he finds it, but does now need to make sure that nobody is going to take advantage of the fact that Stompy is down. You can see immediately editing him down all the way because he needs to change positions. Everybody knows they just got an elimination in that box. And I think Freddy and Snagged right here are going to see if they can take advantage here. They're definitely getting the loot, so maybe that's enough for them.
I think they're going to get the revive off. And don't forget, Shinken actually has a Chug Jug in inventory, so he's going to be completely okay. He passes it over to Stompy. This is good. Now they have to have the 15 seconds. This is where things could get a little crazy, right? Because we saw the duo up above. If they decide to challenge, Stompy is not in fighting condition right now.
A note there that Stompy went so far away from where that initial fighting was and goes all the way to the farthest spot, not only for the zone, but also for anybody trying to find out where you are. And here comes the launch pad from Stompy. They're going to move ahead. Ooh, a nice little short launch there by accident even, but I'll take it if I'm Stompy.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate your point, these guys are playing at the highest level possible, right? They know what a Chug Jug sounds like. Those sound cues are so very distinct. If you're sitting in a box and you hear that sound down below, you're like, we're going down, let's make some edits, someone's on critical, we're going to take him out, and that's why he moved so far away, to make sure no one knew what was going on. So huge. 23 duos left, 39 players. Right now they're making a rotation. You've got people out in front, which is good, and they're still staying close by, which is really going to maximize their efficiency here. And a lot of people going down in the lobby as well.
I think staying close by is something we're actually not really used to seeing from Stompy and Shinken. We see them trying to take over the lobby and get as many opportunities as possible, but what is that from Stompy? I mean, but one of the things that is very important here to note is their mobility is starting to look scarce. All that we see on Stompy right now is that glider play. They already used their shadow bombs, the launch pads, because of the position they were put in. They couldn't rotate early. So here, staying together, making, oh my goodness, he found
got a rift.
As I say that, the rift to go, the almost most valuable item at this point in the game, because not only are people rotating in the congested zones, but they're not looking up, because that first portion of the movement, everybody is looking to see, where do I need to go next?
And they've got a great bird's eye view, right? They're slowly descending on. You've got Alpha there going to drop down, but look, so now they're going to make the decision. We have to contest.
Oh, they know.
Someone just brought the entire structure down. This is, it depends on what they decide to do. Look at Stompy. He's already trying to contest for the high ground, and Shinken had to stop for just a moment to get that many up. He's got the shadow bomb, but I don't think he wants to use this right now. He gets cracked from behind. The slurp is still ticking right now. He's just got to get himself into safety. He doesn't have any other utility baller, like a campfire, that would help him right now.
Yeah, but possibly Stompy does, and he's right on top of him now. So great, staying together. They're glued to each other, almost in another elimination. First finding it before moving out. He gets stuck in the cone, but he's got to cover himself first. Does end up going down the zone. So perfect play here from Shinken, and he's moving forward. And they did get in the top 15 just now as well with those 2 eliminations.
And just the way that Shinken is like fluidly chaining eliminations back to back. And remember, if you don't finish that player off, there's a little bit of time before that siphon comes through. There's a player in the box! Oh! It doesn't even matter! Nebby gets shut down! They're on 11 eliminations right now. They're about to hit top 10. Bala, they're playing out of their freaking minds!
Nebby, one of those players who was towards the top, him and his teammate from Evade. And getting shut down here from Stompy and Shinken, 2 people who have already qualified, who are not playing for qualification spots, but playing for keeps. Right now, they're showing off why they should be at the top of the leaderboard. And we just talked about it. We were like, where's Stompy and Shinken? Because there's nobody who's qualified at the top of the leaderboard like we're used to seeing. But maybe after this game, things are going to change. But the Heavy Snipey coming in. Heavy Snipey?
Snipey, yeah, absolutely. Snipey coming through. Now, don't forget, they're also at 66 points. We've seen 3 duos now with that point value. And look at this. Stompy's got to chain together these eliminations. Shinken is down, but it's okay. Stompy's been in positions like this before. He knows how to clutch these games up. The campfire is rolling, Bala. He's getting back in that rhythm.
Getting back in that rhythm and achieving top 5 right there. That last placement threshold before the Victory Royale. So all he has to do.
Here we go. The key to all doors. Oh, my. Okay. I'm going to lose my freaking voice after today. I'm telling you right now. Stompy and Shinken are putting on a show. The European queues are done as well. It's a free-for-all right now. Also, Pewds goes down a rocket from up above, Bala.
Just barely dodging that. And now he's up to 10, 15 total for this duel. It's a 1v1v1. He's hunting the player down on low ground, but he can't get in the zone. I think that's going to be the end because Katsus is looking right at him. Now, has the Chug Splash. The RPG just barely is going to hit the wall in front of him. Using the Chug Splash and the campfire, I don't think it's going to be enough because the player up above probably has more in the tank, but he's going to come down. Is it going to happen? No. Massey is going to win that game against Cactus over the heel off there, and that is just an unbelievable sequence of events. We followed Stompy and Shinken from the beginning, and look where they ended up. 15 eliminations, the most out of any placement thresholds besides the Victory Royale. That is a performance for the ages and a reminder of why we need to be scared of them going into New York City.
That ain't no little tiny thin pancake, bro. That's a big old beefy pancake covered in delicious syrup. You like to see it. But of course, guys, there's more Fortnite action. We've got more games hopping in right now. Got Dervig and his duo partner. They've got their eyes set on another duo sitting in a box. I believe they've got double heavy snipes. That's why we would ping this out. A single shot's going to come out and wait for it. Okay, so they're going to break this wall. They want to get a little bit of a better vantage point. That's smart, right? Because they're over that little lip there. Nope, they're not there. But now you've made the heavy sniper known, right? Now this other duo's like, well, they're looking to take shots. You know, the panic launch pad.
I don't necessarily know if that's panic. So they are in the side of zone, making their way in, and you can see now Drivig and his teammate Waldo are going to go in, but he box fights indeed, gets Wetbrow right out of there, no chance to react at all. And that is something that you can catch people by surprise is they're trying to make that rotation, right? They're trying to figure out what their plan is to go forward. And because of that, they're all looking around. They're not paying attention to the fact that they're not covered. They're not paying attention and listening to the fact that there's a heavy sniper coming in or just a pickaxe even from one of the most obvious locations right above you.
And I mean, you saw them separate for a moment, him and his dual partner, and now they just use that rift to reposition and get to go close back together. Got Marcote here and Squalls K. Marcote here has got 6 eliminations. Again, this is almost unusual, Bala, because I feel like, you know, semifinals are typically the day where you find a ton of players sitting on mountains of eliminations, right? Borderline double digits at times. But on finals day, very rarely you see that happen. You see eliminations be picked up toward the end, right? When you break that placement barrier and then you're like, I'm just going to catch people making late rotations. But that's not been the case today. You can tell players they're ready. They are so hungry. They want those tickets.
You can almost feel the pressure that they're feeling, that they're playing with. Right? The high eliminations, they have to go for it because it's all or nothing right now in this moment. There's only 4 spots left up for grabs in EU. That isn't much out of all the players who are playing and out of the top 1,500 that made it from semifinals to today.
That's right. And remember, we recently saw the highest point value we've seen is 66. So we know that's like, we'll say top 10 at best right now. But look at everyone in the sky all hanging out. May have been a rift to go, a community launch pad.
Hello? We were just talking then. How do you do? That. Jack. Hello? Hi, Luke. Yeah, I'm gonna end my stream.